I'm going to show you how to use your calculator to solve matrices. So I'm going to do a couple of these here. So first I'm going to do 41. Okay, so right here. And the first thing you're going to do is you are going to open up your matrix menu and you're going to go over to edit and you're going to pick, I'm going to put this into B. And this I'm going to need, you need as many, so I have 3 variables. So I need the 3 variables across then I'm going to need the solution as well. So I'm going to actually need a 3 by 4 matrix, okay? And then so my first row here, I have, you're just taking the coefficients. So x is 1, y is 1, z is 0, okay? And then the solution is -1. So when you have your matrix, you have your x, your y, your z, your answer. So those are your 4 across, and then you do the second. So in this case, x is 0. Then I have 1, 1, 4, okay? A lot of times when I will write this on paper first, and I'll write x, y, and z and answer above it for myself. So then I have 1, 0, 1, 1. So that's your first step. Get your matrix in. Then you're going to take your matrix, and you're going to go over to Math, and you're going to go down to RF, and you're going to then come back, get your matrix. Notice I'm exiting out, that's important, or you're going to end up, and I'm going to pick the matrix I want. And then, okay, so where this 1 is, that says x is -2. Y, because this is in the second column, my 1's in the y, so this says x equals -2, y equals 1, z equals 3. So my solution is -2, 1, 3. Okay, and you're just lining them up. The biggest thing is make sure your variables stay in order, especially something like 41 here, where you don't have all your variables and you have to put in those 0 placeholders. So if your equations aren't in alphabetical order, x, y, z, you need to make sure they are, and they usually give them to you as such. But you need to watch out for those skipped variables. Okay, now I'm going to do 56 down here, okay? So I'm going to start, and I'm going to go back to my matrix menu. I'm going to open another one. I'm going to do C now, and again, I'm going to make a 3 by 4. And so if you have 3 equations, you have 3 by 4. If you had 4, you're going to have 4 by 5. You're always going to have one more column than you have row because of the answers. So let's see here. Because you always need as many equations as you have variables. So what did I say I was doing? 56. Okay, so 2, 1, -3. Make sure you take the negative. 1. And then 1, 1, 2, 5. Then 3, 2, -1, -3, okay? Then I'm going to exit, so I'm going to use second mode as quit, okay? Second, -1 to get my matrix menu. Come over here, I want RF, and then I'm going to go to second matrix. I'm going to go back and find my C matrix, and then enter. Now, you'll notice something on this. Look at this bottom row. This says 0 equals 1. Is that true? No. This is no solution, because when I look at this, this one actually says x minus 5z equals 0. That says y plus 7z equals 0, but this says 0 equals 1. So when you get a no solution, it's going to it's not going to have this usual diagonal of 1s with the answer, because of course 0 could be an answer. It's going to have all these zeros in the bottom, and it's going to have a false statement, okay? So that's what no solution is going to look like on the calculator. Okay, now we've got one more to look at, and that's infinitely many or all real. So I'm going to put in 6 here. So I'm going to come back here. Now you'll notice here, right here, that we're not going to get good answers anyways because I don't have enough equations, but let's see what it tells me. So I'm going to come over here. I'm going to come over, edit D, and now I have a 2 by 4. So I have 3, 1, -1, 12, 1, 2, 1, 10, okay? And so I'm not sure what this will tell me. Let's see here. And then I'm going to come back here, my RF, my D. Okay, so now what this did is this gave me two equations. So I'm going to write these down. And hold on a second. And I knew from the get-go I wasn't going to get an answer because I didn't have enough information. But what this actually says is this says x minus 0.6z equals 2.8. And it says y plus 0.8z equals 3.6. Now, if you would have had a third one, your bottom row would have all been zeros. It would have been 0, 0, 0, so 0 equals 0 is true. So if, actually, maybe 69 does have a solution. Anyways, I was using the answer key actually so that I could find ones that did. I didn't actually do them in advance. But it's more fun when you watch me do it live. So you might, if you have an entire solution, so you actually have enough information, what it's going to do is the bottom row would be all zeros. So like the one above with no solution is 0 equals 1, which is false. This one will give you 0 equals 0, which is true. And then when I look at this, what I'm going to do is I'm going to write down those equations, okay? And how these are always written is they're going to be written in a series. So hold on a second. I'm going to open up a new document, and I'm going to do x minus 0.6z equals 2.8, and y plus 0.8z equals 3.6. Okay? And what I'm going to do here is I'm going to come down here. Actually, let me see here. I want to see if it'll do something for me. I'm going to go to second math. No, just math. There, I don't need second math. Aha, that's what I wanted. I wanted the I wanted the fractions because it'll be easier to work with. So negative 3/5 z equals 14/5. And so if you get decimals and you want fractions, just use your go to fraction button and it will do that on any matrix. Okay. So I'm going to rewrite these. So what I have is I have x minus 3/5 z equals 14/5 and y plus 4/5 z equals 18/5. Okay, and what I'm going to do is I'm going to just clean these. I'm going to solve each one of these. So I'm going to solve this for x and this for y. Okay, so I'm going to get x equals I don't know what I just did. I hit obviously something. Hold on a second. Exit. I can't even see where I was writing. No. Oh well. Okay, we're starting a new one because I don't know what I hit. I don't even know. I mean, I know how to get a print layout, but I don't know how I couldn't get back to it. Okay. Third time's a charm here. Okay, so x minus 3/5 z equals 14/5. Y plus 4/5 z equals 18/5. Okay, so I'm going to solve them. So up here I'm going to get x equals 14/5 plus 3/5 z. So in other words, 14 plus 3z over 5. And then y here equals 18 minus 4z all over 5. And how these are written for the infinitely many solutions is you're going to write these as 14 plus 3z fifths plus 18 minus 4z 5, and then z. You always use z, and you always solve for the other two. So you're always just going to write them. And the idea is that, yes, it's infinitely many, but it's always in this pattern. And this is what all the infinitely manys are going to look like. And this is what they're going to want you to put the answer in as. So there's going to be a little bit of solving here at the end. And as I said, you're either going to get something like this where you're like, well, I don't have enough information, or you're going to get one with the full information because you had 3, but the bottom row, as I said, is going to be all zeros. And you always have just z by itself, and then you always set the other two and you do x and y, and that's how the calculator always will solve it, and that's how my math lab is going to want you to put it into it. But the idea is it's infinitely many solutions in this pattern. Okay, so that last one got a little bit longer because I didn't plan it out as well as I should have, but yeah, well, you know, you got some entertainment with your show.